I had.
Hey, Pete, I think you actually talked about it again this morning. I know you've talked about a ton about your depth. And tonight, Colasar, Carrier, Holden, these guys score for you. Stone talked about it. Is it been talked about enough in your mind?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's the identity of this team is our depth and the number of contributions we're getting. You know, just off the top of my head, guys that have sat out and then come back into the lineup. You know, Haig, Holden, Reeves, Sakura, Colasar. You know, I know I'm missing guys there, but you know, we've had so many contributions from so many guys, and how the guys have handled, you know, when they're out, and then you know, their ability to hop back in and make a difference for us. It's been critical. You don't beat a team like Colorado without that. We're the sum of our parts. We don't have that superstar power, you know, that they do. And then, you know, I have to mention, you know, what a great job they did. What a great team. You know, wow. I mean, you know, we feel fortunate to go through. I think we earned it, but that was a really, really tough series. And that's an excellent team and a well-coached team over there.
Next, we'll go to Justin Emerson with the Las Vegas Sun.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Pete, you've made a couple of jokes in this series, and before game one, I think you said maybe we shouldn't have even come, and you said that you made a joke about jumping off the life raft people were, and I'm just curious how much you guys kind of bought into that underdog mentality and how much you think it helped in this series.
I don't know if it, you know, I mean, it wasn't a line. I mean, that's reality. I don't think there was a person in the hockey world when we were down 2-0 that would predict that we would finish this off in 6 at home tonight. You know, so you know, that was real. There was a lot more talk about us being swept and, you know, embarrassed and, you know, could we even win a game? So you know, I think we've got a group with a lot of pride, and you know, they just blocked out the noise and went to work and battled and scraped and scratched and you know, found a way. And you know, what a night. And the other thing I would be remiss if I didn't mention was the advantage of the full rink in game 3, 4, and 6. Huge to our group. Honestly, if you know, if the rink, if we don't have full capacity and the rink rocking like it was in those games, you know, I'm sure we're playing a game 7 here on Saturday night. So you know, huge shout out to T-Mobile and our fans and the governor for allowing it.
Next question for Pete. DeBoer goes to Stormy Bontoni, the Vegas Golden Knights.
Hey, Stormy.
Pete, building off that thought of just no panic from your group throughout the course of this series, did you learn anything new about your team, or did it more so just confirm the resilient qualities that they have?
Yeah, you know what? I think you learn something every time you play a series. You know, I mean, it still hasn't sunk in. We beat a team that, you know, maybe has the best analytics in the last 10 years. You know, a team that people were pretty much handing the Stanley Cup to, you know, all preseason, all season, and for sure once the playoffs started, and for sure after they rolled through the first round. So, you know, if anyone ever questioned our group, you know, I think they answered the bell, and you know, what they just accomplished is huge. And having said that, you know, we're only halfway done here where we're going, which is hard to believe. I mean, we won 40 out of 50 games and drew Minnesota and Colorado in the first 2 rounds. And you know, it's hard to believe, but you know, we haven't complained. Guys have just gone to work, and we beat 2 excellent teams to get the opportunity to keep playing here.
Let's go to Ben Goetz from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Pete, just what did you think of Alex Pietrangelo's performance tonight and really all series defending against Colorado?
Yeah, I thought he was the best player in the series on either team. He was an absolute monster for us. Defensively, blocking shots, offensively, the goal tonight. That's what we brought him here for this time of year and for those situations.
We'll go to Mark Spector from Sportsnet.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, congratulations, Pete. It's kind of a funny year. Some of the teams that have been purely offensive or very offensive, Toronto, Edmonton, let's say Colorado, they haven't, they're by the wayside, and it's the well-rounded team. It's you guys have good offense, don't get me wrong, but it's a team that hasn't come in from all these other places, that has all the ends covered, that's deeper and more of a team. You just talked about how you're a real strong, deep team. Is that where we're going in hockey? Is it enough? Does the hard work beat the superstar now? Or where are we on this?
Yeah, I don't know if you can compare Colorado to. I'm assuming you're talking about Toronto, Edmonton. You look at Colorado's defensive analytics, and they're 1-2 in the league in every category. This is a different beast, I think, than I think the road you're heading down. And how they play defense, I think, is something that they play defense by getting out of their zone quickly and not spending any time in their zone. And I think, we did a great job when we had success in this series of taking advantage of making them play in their own end for stretches, and that's why we had some success. But I don't know. You know what? I do know. If you're going to win in the playoffs, you've got to have a committed group. And what did we block? 33 shots tonight. Martinez had 9, White Cloud 7. That's as big a piece as any goal or any rush or any power play that we score.
We'll take 2 final questions tonight. Next one goes to Jesse Granger with The Athletic.
Jesse.
Hey, Pete, you talked about the depth guys in the beginning of this. I'd like to specifically ask you about the way they handled going in and out of the lineup. We see those guys at the end of practice every day who aren't playing that night, and they're working on things and trying to be ready for when they do get back in the lineup.
Yeah, to a man, not a distraction. You could tell obvious disappointment, and you know what, when you're having those conversations. Some of them were after we had just won a big game and they had played well. And so, if they didn't understand it, never saw even a remote, it didn't carry into the room in any remote way. They were the first guys cheering everybody on and the first guys when they got back in to make a contribution. Nick Holden's sat, and his contribution in the last couple of games huge. Ryan Reeves came out after we won 5-1, sat for a night, came in tonight, and that fourth line got a huge goal for us. So, that was the entire group. And when your veteran guys handle those situations like that, the messaging's easy.
Last question tonight goes to Danny Webster with NHL.com.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, Pete, I know it's not the ultimate goal, but 3 times in 4 years, this franchise has been one of the last 4 standing, and now you've been at the helm for 2 of them. Just your thoughts on getting back to the semifinals and the challenge Montreal will possess.
Well, it's so hard to get to this point. Everybody talks about winning the Stanley Cup, but I'm an Ontario guy. I watched the Toronto Maple Leafs closely. I was drafted by the Leafs. I've always been a fan of the franchise. They haven't got out of the first round. I think someone said, 17 years? And that's a good franchise, a well-run franchise, well-coached. This is hard. It's hard to win a series. It's hard to make the playoffs in this league. It's hard to win a series. So what these men here have accomplished is really unreal.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.